Hello and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into the absolutely critical world of open source monitoring. Let's be honest, keeping your systems running smoothly isn't just a nice to have, it's totally non-negotiable. So in this explainer, we're going to navigate the best tools out there to help you do exactly that. But let me start with a question, and be honest with yourself. When you look at your whole tech stack, all that complex infrastructure, does it ever just feel like a giant black box? You know things are happening in there, but you don't really have the visibility you need to see what's going on. And when something in that black box inevitably breaks, because it always does, right? Trying to find the root cause, the why, can feel like you're on this impossible quest. You're just scrambling around in the dark for answers. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Consider this explainer your map for that quest. Okay, so before any hero embarks on a quest, they need the right toolkit. So what exactly makes a monitoring tool great? What are the key things we should be looking for? It really boils down to these 5 things. They're the absolute bedrock. You need scalability, so it can grow with you. Ease of integration is a must. I mean, if it doesn't play nice with your existing stack, what's the point? Real-time insights are completely non-negotiable for putting out fires fast. And of course, active development and a strong community. That's how you know the tool is getting better and that you won't be left all alone when you run into a problem. So, with our criteria set, it's time to meet the champions. We're about to take a tour through the great halls of open source monitoring and introduce you to the real heavyweights, each one with its own unique set of skills.
And let's start with the undisputed champ of the cloud-native space, Prometheus. If you work with Kubernetes or any kind of dynamic environment, you've definitely heard of it. It's really become the foundational tool that so many others are built to work with.
And this right here shows you exactly why it's a champion. Being a graduated project in the CNCF means it's hit a super high bar for stability and industry adoption. You combine that with over 50,000 GitHub stars. That is some massive community validation. It really is the go-to starting point for DevOps teams in today's world. Now, Prometheus is incredibly powerful, but what happens when your kingdom grows too large for just one champion? What if you need to monitor systems at a massive, massive scale, or store data for years, not just a few weeks? Well, that's a common problem, and it's where our next set of tools comes in. This is where you bring in reinforcements like Thanos and Cortex. They both help Prometheus, but they solve different problems. Think of Thanos as your infinite long-term memory. It gives you a global view and cost-effective storage for all your data. Cortex, on the other hand, is built for just ridiculous real-time scale and something called multi-tenancy, which makes it absolutely perfect for SaaS providers. Okay, so beyond the all-arounders and the scalers, the open source world is packed with specialists. These are tools that are designed to do one specific thing and do it exceptionally well. These are the champions you call when you have a very particular job that needs doing. Our first specialist is Netdata, and it is the champion of speed and simplicity. Its superpower is providing these unbelievably detailed per-second metrics right out of the box. And when I say right out of the box, I mean with basically zero configuration. It is amazing for teams that need answers, like right now. This quote just captures it perfectly. That combination of real-time, zero configuration, and lightweight, that's the magic. And that's exactly why it's a favorite for teams who need to see what's happening immediately, without some huge, heavy setup process. Next up, we have a hyper specialist, Kuberhealthy. This tool isn't about general system metrics like CPU or memory. Nope. Its whole purpose is to run these little simulated tests inside your Kubernetes clusters to proactively make sure they're healthy. It's kind of like having a dedicated doctor just for your Kubernetes environment. Now, just take a second and look at this number, over 100,000. That is the number of GitHub stars for our next tool, Victoria Metrics. And in the open source world, let me tell you, that is a massive signal of community trust and adoption. This tool is an absolute powerhouse. So why is it so popular? Well, here's the breakdown. Victoria Metrics is just relentlessly focused on performance and efficiency. It's a super fast, really cost-effective way to store your time series data, and it's designed to perform at huge scale, all while being fully compatible with the Prometheus ecosystem. It's the choice for anyone who needs to squeeze every last drop of performance out of their monitoring stack. Okay, so we've met the champions, we've met the specialists. That's a lot of information, I know. So how in the world do you choose the right one for your specific needs? How do you know which champion to call? Well, let's make it simple. If your main concern is just making sure your Kubernetes clusters are functioning correctly, your champion is Kuberhealthy. If you're pulling your hair out over long-term data storage for Prometheus, Thanos is the one who answers that call. Need raw performance and crazy efficiency at scale? Look to Victoria Metrics. And for that foundational day-to-day monitoring, Prometheus is still your #1 draft pick. Now, look, open source gives you incredible flexibility, but sometimes you don't want to build the whole army yourself. Sometimes you just want to hire a powerful mercenary to get the job done, and that's where proprietary tools come into the picture. And here are two of the best. Datadog is fantastic for teams that just want an all-in-one, hassle-free solution that works across their entire stack. Dynatrace, on the other hand, really stands out with its powerful AI engine, which gives you automated insights that can be a total game changer. Both are great options if you prioritize ease of use and having comprehensive support. So there you have it, a full tour of the monitoring landscape, from the open source champions all the way to the proprietary powerhouses. Your quest for visibility? Well, now you have a map. Ultimately, this is the single most important thing to take away from all this. The best tool doesn't exist. It's not about ticking boxes on a feature list. It's about finding the perfect match for your team, your infrastructure, and your goals. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Every single second, your systems are telling you a story. They're generating incredibly valuable data. The only question is, are you ready to listen?